welcome to my class of mobile computing. Today we will learn about ad hoc network routing protocols. Ad hoc network routing protocol is a standard or convention that controls that how nodes decide which way to route packet between computing devices in a mobile ad hoc network. A mobile ad hoc network, MANET, is a collection of wireless mobile nodes forming a temporary network without using any centralized access point, infrastructure, or centralized administration. To establish a data transmission between two nodes, typically multiple hops are required due to the limited transmission range. Mobility of the different nodes makes the situation even more complicated. Multiple routing protocol, especially for these conditions, have been developed during the last years to find optimized routes from a source to some destination. In ad hoc network, nodes are not familiar with the topology of their network. Instead, they have to discover it. Typically, a new node announces its presence and listens for announcement broadcast by its neighbor. Each node learns about other nearby and how to reach them and may announce that it too can reach them. Ad hoc network protocol can also be used literally to mean an improvised and often impromptu protocol established for specific purpose. ADOV, ad hoc online distance vector routing, ADOV. So AODV, the ad hoc on demand distance vector routing protocol, AODV, is an improvement over the destination sequence distance vector routing protocol, DSDV1. DSDV has its efficiency in creating smaller ad hoc network since it requires periodic advertisement and global dissemination of connectivity information for correct operation. It leads to frequent system-wide broadcast. Therefore, the size of DSDV ad hoc network is strongly limited. When using DSDV, every mobile node also needs to maintain a complete list of routes for each destination within the mobile network. The advantage of AODV is that it tries to minimize the number of required broadcasts. It creates the routes on a on-demand basis as opposed to maintain a complete list of routers for each destination. Therefore, the authors of AODV classify it as a pure route acquisition system. Path discovery process. When trying to send a message to a destination node without knowing an active route to it, the sending node will initiate a path discovery process. A route request message, RREQ, is broadcasted to all neighbors which continue to broadcast the message to their neighbors, and so on. The forwarding message is continued until the destination node is reached or until a intermediate node knows a route to the destination that is new enough to ensure loop-free and most recent route information. Every node maintains two counters, sequence number and broadcast ID. The broadcast ID and the address of the source node uniquely identify a RREQ message. Broadcast ID is incremented for RREQ the source node initiates. An intermediate node can receive multiple copies of same route request broadcast from various neighbors. In this case, if a node has already received a RREQ with the same source address and broadcast ID, will discard the packet without broadcasting it. Furthermore, when an intermediate node forwards the RREQ message, it records the address of the neighbor from which it received the first copy of broadcast packet. This way, the reverse path from all nodes back to the source is being built automatically. The RREQ packet contains two sequence number, the source sequence number and the last destination sequence number known to the source. The source sequence number is used to maintain freshness, information about the reverse route to the source, while the destination sequence number specifies what actuality a route to the destination must have before it is accepted by the source. When a route request broadcast reaches the destination or an intermediate node with fresh enough route, the nodes respond by sending a unicast route packet RREP back to the node from which it is received the RREQ. So, actually the packet is sent back, reverse the path built during broadcast forwarding. A route is considered fresh enough if the intermediate node's route to the destination node has a destination sequence number which is equal or greater than the contained in the RREQ packet. As the RREP is sent back to the source, every intermediate node along the path adds a forward route entry to its routing table. The forward route is set active for some time indicated by a route timer entry. The default value is 3000 millisecond as referred in the AODV RFC. If the route is no longer used, it will be deleted after the specified amount of time. Since the RREP packet is always sent back, the reverse path established by routing request AODV only supports symmetric links. Maintaining routes. If the source node moves, it is able to send a new RREQ packet to find a new route to destination. If an intermediate node along the forward path moves, its upstream neighbor notices the move and send a link failure notification message to each of its active upstream neighbors to inform them of the erasure of that part of root. The link failure notification is forwarded as long as the source node is not reached. After having learned about the failure, the source node may reinitiate the root discovery protocol. Optionally, a mobile node may perform local connectivity maintenance by periodically broadcasting hello messages. Dynamic source routing. The dynamic source routing protocol is an on-demand routing protocol based on source routing. In the source routing technique, a sender determines the exact sequence of node through which to propagate a packet. The list of intermediate node for routing is explicitly contained in the packet's header. In DSR, every mobile node in the network needs to maintain a root cache where it caches source root that it has learned. When a host wants to send a packet to some other host, it first checks its root cache for a source route to destination. In the case a route is found, the sender uses this route to propagate the packet. Otherwise, the source node initiates the route discovery process. Route discovery and route maintenance are the two major parts of DSR protocol. Route discovery. For route discovery, the source node starts by broadcasting a route request packet that can be received by all neighbor nodes within its wireless transmission range. That route request contains the address of the destination host, referred to as the target of the route discovery, the source address, a route record field, and a unique identification number. At the end, the source host should receive a route reply packet containing a list of network nodes through which it should propagate the packet. Supported the route discovery process was successful. During the route discovery process, the route record field is used to accumulate the sequence of hops already taken. First of all, the sender initiates the route record as a list with single element containing itself. The next neighbor node append itself to the list and so on. Each route request packet also contain a unique identification number called request ID. Request ID is a simple counter which is increased whenever a new route request packet is being sent by the source node. So every route request packet can be uniquely identified through its initiator's address and request ID. When a host receives a route request packet, it is important to process the request in the order described below. This way, we can make sure that no loops will occur during the broadcasting of the packets. Advantages. What are the advantages? Router-free connection to the internet without any wireless router. Router is the main advantage of using a mobile ad hoc network. Because of this, running an ad hoc network can be more affordable than traditional network. Separation from central network administration also exists, which is an advantage. Self-configuring nodes are also called routers. Self-healing is there through continuous reconfiguration. Scaling aspect incorporates the addition of more nodes. Mobility allows ad hoc network created on the fly in any situation where there are multiple wireless devices. Flexible ad hoc can be temporarily set up at any time in any place. Lower getting started cost due to decentralized administration. The nodes in ad hoc network need not rely on any hardware and software, so it can be connected and communicated quickly. Fault tolerance MANET supports connection failure because routing and transmission protocols are designed to manage these situations. Mobile ad hoc network is a collection of autonomous and mobile elements such as laptop, smartphone, wearable computers, tablet, PCs, PDAs, etc. The mobile node can dynamically self-organize in arbitrary network topology. Thank you for watching.